Hello and welcome to Content Curator. Today I'm going to cover 3 exciting tools to help you with content generation. If this is your first time, I want you just to jump forward here to the tool called Keyword Idea Generator. In this tool, basically, you can quickly generate a big list of keywords. Simply start by copying and pasting right here the input topic that you want to explore. In my case, and for this demo, we're going to explore herb gardening for apartment living. There's some other configuration and settings, but let's go ahead and just run this now. What this is going to do behind the scenes is basically it's going to pull a list of questions that people also ask for and some other related queries. It's also going to use some large language models to identify different questions, long tail keywords and so forth, basically to generate a list of keywords. But if you already have a list of keywords that you're working with that maybe you exported out of another tool, I'll show you in a second how to use those. Now, this just finished. You can see that it created 68 keywords. And the primary next step that we're going to do is deduplicate and prioritize these. You can, of course, download the full list, but here's a preview of some of them, including apartment gardening, patio herb gardening, container gardening, apartment gardening supplies, and so forth. What you might have seen with a lot of programmatic SEO people or with, content generation is basically to just loop over every single one of these. However, that's a big problem because we might already have content that's associated with these types of topics. And so we don't want to cannibalize any existing content, but also this list is full of, duplicates. And so we're going to want to make sure that we prioritize and deduplicate that. And we can simply do that by pressing this button. What this does is it imports all those keywords into here as input keywords. And this tool is going to help by running a Google query for each and every one of those, and then using some machine learning to identify kind of what's the main topics and how do those topics roll up into hubs and categories. So here you can see the list of input keywords. And then if we continue, there's some additional settings. Let's pretend for this demo that my website is this one, balconygardeningweb.com. So if I copy this URL, I can go ahead and paste that now as a domain to track. And what this is going to do is every time it runs the query, it's going to see if I already have a page rank for that. So here on the next screen, the step number 2, I can confirm and preview. This will show me how many keywords and job credits I'm going to be using. But since I'm well below the free threshold for the first 500 keywords are free, then this tool will just cost 1 job. Here you can see that it's already set to language of English, the location is United States, and there's the domain I'm tracking. There's some additional add-ons that you can choose. Otherwise, you can just confirm and view the results now. Of course, since this is in real time running a bunch of Google queries, it's going to take a minute or two, often as long as 10 minutes per 1,000 queries, but it'll be substantially less than that. Now, remember, if for whatever reason you have your own queries that you're bringing, you can go ahead and start by creating a new bulk SERP keyword clustering by either pasting those here, or if you have more than 2,000 at a time, you can simply upload those here into the keyword clustering tool where you can just drag and drop an Excel file. Now, at any point in time, if you want to go back and see what's running, you can simply click on the dashboard, and here you can see a list of recent activities, including the first tool and job that we ran for generating the list of keywords, as well as the one that we're running right now, which is for clustering those 66 into apartment living. Now, in that short time, you can see that it already finished running. Here we have the 66 input keywords. Those have been grouped into page level clusters, and those pages roll up to hubs, which are just groups of pages, and those hubs live inside of categories. You can go ahead and follow this guided tour, but I'll leave that as an exercise for you to do on your own. Otherwise, you can download all the raw data yourself and explore that in the pivot table. And here's an example in this video how to do that. But what's neat is we can visualize some of these clusters right here. For example, there's multiple categories, category 1 and category 2 and 3. And inside the category, there's one or more hubs. In this case, we have indoor gardening in this category. We have apartment herb kit, We have bonsai. Here we have container gardening. And each one of these hubs have one or more list of pages. So let's just take a look at this first one. If we look at indoor herb gardening, clicking on this will jump us down to the bottom where we can see the raw data. Here's the hub, indoor herb gardening. And this is suggesting that there are 8 keywords that are grouped and can be represented with just one page, which is apartment-friendly herbs. And then there's another 4 keywords that are specific to growing herbs in limited spaces. In this case, for the sample website that we're using as an example, you can see that this check mark indicates that we already have a article written for those topics. If we scroll down, we can see that there's a page where we don't yet have an article written, which is herb gardens for culinary students or for small children. And then even under the other hubs, there's apartment herb gardening kit where we might want to feature some different products. So this helps us quickly to scan to identify which topics do we not yet have covered on our website. And of course, if you're just starting out, then all of these will be available and you can go ahead and run them all. Now, what's neat is if you want to get a head start on creating a brief and even a first draft of the article, you can go ahead and click on this link here. For example, edible flower gardens takes us right into the third tool, which I want to cover. Okay. So the third tool is the brief draft article writer. Basically in this, we can pass in some configuration and then it'll automatically write a first draft and give us a brief for how we should present that article so we can really dominate Google Organic. The first thing it needs is the primary topic, which you can see that it imported from the previous tool, as well as some additional advanced settings that you might want to adjust or configure, such as the parent topic, additional target keywords, and so forth. So when we go ahead and run this, this will use, again, another one of our jobs. And here you're going to see that it basically kicks off a draft preview. This is going to automatically in real time start to write the article as a draft that we can then modify and use for our own publication or for inspiration as we're creating this article. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause because this is going to do some additional kind of machine learning and massaging behind the scenes before it finalizes the article and the outline. Okay, that only takes a few seconds and you can see that it's almost done, optimizing the article. And basically what it's going to do is, behind the scenes, get this all ready and then as well as summarizing the brief. In orange, of course, right here is our preview, but now it's finalized it. So we can see the draft on the right in blue. And then on the left, you can see the brief, including things like the title, the number of words, the target keywords, also the intent, the audience, and the full outline. And then on the right, you can see this wrote a fully comprehensive article, including, different sections, lists, even tips, and some other ideas. And it goes on to include even frequently asked questions. So there you have it. Today we've covered 3 awesome, tools that you can use to generate content and how you can use Content Curator to really accelerate what it is you're doing. I hope that you have lots of fun really exploring this tool. If you have any questions or feedback at any point in time or hit any roadblocks, you can contact me through support or via chat right here. And I'm happy to answer any questions and make sure you just have a delightful experience. Thanks again and have a beautiful day.